Soybean checkoff successes are nice, but it cannot rest there. Soybean farmers need to know what their checkoff is doing. On this edition of the Missouri Soybean Spotlight podcast, we'll talk about the checkoff funding a global soybean marketing service and about what moves Missouri Soybeans CEO.
I absolutely love my job.
Missouri Soybeans Director of Outreach and Education, Bailey Asbury, says there is a constant effort to spend checkoff funds in a prudent manner. There is a similar degree of effort to let farmers know how those funds are invested.
We've been granted this authority through our Missouri Soybeans team and our board of 13 farmer leaders to invest these dollars. And so it's really important to be able to turn those investments around and be able to tell farmers how those dollars are being used. And so, at the end of the day, you always want to know how those dollars are being spent, no matter who's providing them. Being able to allow farmers to know where those dollars are going and what some of the outcomes are on the successes of those checkoff dollars.
There are many ways to get involved in checkoff investment decisions. Missouri Soybean Merchandising Council Vice Chairman Mark Lenbauer, one of those involved in decision-making, recommends at the very least involvement in meetings and perhaps leadership.
It's a great way for Missouri soybean farmers to take control of their checkoff contributions. Our board is 13 farmers from around the state that are directly investing the checkoff money that benefit their own operations and their peers, their neighbors that farm all across the state of Missouri.
When it comes to successes of checkoff investments, Bailey Asbury points to promotions of biofuels and livestock exports that contribute to the value of soybeans.
It's the marketing service for our farmers. And so you look at those key investments like biodiesel that offers a 10% price support to soybean farmers. You look at meat exports, which I think the latest was $1.50 per bushel price support. Those are all markets that your soybean checkoff is investing in through our partners, whether that's through USEC or WISH, that are investing more in those markets in Southeast Asia, in other parts of Asia or Africa. The more markets we can create, the more places soybeans have to go, therefore increasing the price of soybeans. Of course, there's so many different aspects of the market that play into the price. So much of that can simply be attributed to the checkoff and the successful investments that it's made.
For many decades, exports of U.S. soybeans have been promoted to the rest of the world. Missouri Soybeans Executive Director and CEO Gary Wheeler explains that those overseas missions help to keep the crop in demand all over the globe.
It's really driving those markets and keeping our markets open, increasing our market share on a global basis, but also adding value to the bushel before it leaves the state. And that's something that this board, our staff, our public and private partners have been really trying to be resourceful and find those direct avenues to add that value domestically, but while ensuring that we keep our international markets in place. It's critical for that to happen, and it's critical for growth. It's critical for our farmers' bottom line, and we want them to know that we work on that on a daily basis.
Checkoff spending touches many sections of the marketing chain, including those miles of transportation from the field to the marketplace. Once again, Missouri Soybean Merchandising Council Vice Chairman Mark Lenbauer.
Investments from the checkoff sellback are directed towards improving the infrastructure and logistics necessary for the efficient soybean production and distribution, which in turn reduce cost and increases profitability for farmers. Some of the things that have been done is I know there's been some work done on bridges, researching bridges that impact getting soybeans direct to market. There's also been a lot of work done within the river that has helped cheapen freight costs, moving soybeans down the river, which helps keep us more competitive in the worldwide market.
There's a high degree of happiness in staff leadership. Ask CEO Gary Wheeler, and he'll tell you he'd rather do nothing than what he's doing now.
I absolutely love my job, mostly because I know I'm able to serve the farmer that feeds the world, that literally feeds rural Missouri in the Midwest, and the impact that our farmers make on a global basis. I love serving my staff. I love serving the farmer. There's something different every day. I love it. I don't see myself doing anything else, Tom.
We'll take a closer look at what's been called the Bay Farm Research Facility. That's on our next edition of the Missouri Soybean Spotlight podcast. We're available wherever you get your podcasts and brought to you by Missouri soybean farmers and their checkoff. Thank you for listening. I'm Tom Stever.